That's actually really good. I was talking to another leader. Funny that you say that. I was talking to another leader in the autism space, and what she does is once a month she has these events with moms, and then they have all their clinicians actually take the kids right while the moms are just hanging out, like you mentioned, having the conversation, maybe over a cup of wine, and really getting to learn from one another, like being their own resources. Because sometimes
100%.
people feel like they're alone, and then when we can actually build this community, realize like, no, we're actually all in this together, and that we can help, and if we ever need something, we're just a call away. So Susan, yeah, building community is always, especially in this space, is always going to work out. It allows people to
So,
feel like they have that the sense of someone to rely on, if something happens.
that's right,
Um,
100%.
yeah,
And
what I love is that. Go ahead.
no, no, please.
No, I was going to say another thing that you do that it's amazing is that you begin to hire staff in each city. Like, then you pivoted to 100% volunteer-based expansion, which is kind of what you talk about. Why the shift? What made you believe that it could succeed with that model? People would have done it completely different, but you realize that this works, and it is working, right? Here
Yeah.
we are years later. So, why that?
Yeah. So, well, really, it was like we first did it for financial reasons. Like we can't, we was like, we're not going to raise $200,000 every time we want to open in a new city to hire a director there and to hire. So we thought, okay, listen, like, what do we really want? We want the community to take ownership of this. And that happens to be free, right? For a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
community to do. I mean, it's not entirely free because we have a whole executive staff that onboards everybody and that teaches everybody. We provide all of the materials. Like it's really quite what's the word, turnkey, right? That and we're really really there for them any time of day or night, right? If they have stuff that they need to work through or address in their communities. But we immediately got 3 communities signed on. We just finished the materials to do this, onboarding of a community-driven model in the late spring, early summer, and we already have 3
Wow.
and a 4th community signed up to join us. Actually, 4, yeah,
So
and we
meaningful.
haven't even like really reached out yet, and so we're super excited about that. And we're just trying to figure out how to like keep our core like funded and going, and then we can multiply. I think it's endless, honestly. Almost every community we ask says, oh, we want to do that. We've been looking for something exactly like that that really engages our families. Plus we create lots of Jewish materials for not for the foster families because they're not Jewish, but for the communities so that they can learn about fostering and Jewish tradition and history and kind of see how it's really a part of who we are.
What was your background before you got into this space? Was it an educator?
I'm a rabbi.
Got it.
So
You
like
because you bring so much education. I'm like, was she an educator? Is this where this
yeah,
all
I
comes
do have a
from?
degree in education.
Okay, okay.
Fun and I love it. I love doing that piece of it. Someday,
No, I could tell. I love it.
yeah, it's really fun
How
to
do
do.
you train a volunteer-driven community so the quality and the heart and the consistency actually remain intact? I know you talked about just building all this onboarding. I could imagine that has to do with it. But how do you get everyone on the same page in different cities? I think right now you're in 7+ cities nationally.
Right, right. Right because of the new ones that we're just opening. Yeah,
Yeah.
7, 8. So we have our onboarding is we have like the high level and then we have the more detailed for the different roles, right? So the high level is basically here are all the roles involved, here are the goals, here's where we want to get. And we really emphasize you can start small. You just start with having a group. Have a group, a space for a group of foster families to come once a month. Someone from your community becomes the family support specialist who kind of facilitates that group. And then we have training for the family support specialists, and we have training for the child care volunteers, and we have training for the for general volunteers. That's really it's high level, but it just gives people a tool to be able to do this. So if you do volunteer, say to tutor a kid, right, that will give you education, just a high level 45-minute thing so that you have some tools because this is not a kid who's just struggling in math. This is a kid who's had a lot of trauma and math seems like who the hell cares, right? But we do
Yeah.
want the kid to have successes, right, and move forward. And
Yeah.
so how do you kind of like give somebody the tools they really need to help a kid who's in that position, be able to move forward. So we have training
Yeah.
on these really specific things, but also overview. And then we have every 2 weeks meeting with our national coordinator who meets with all of the family support specialists, and they just come together and say, here's where I'm stuck, here's where we're moving forward. Oh, let me help you with that. I've figured out the perfect form for that, whatever it is, just to really help each other. So it's sort of second nurture for second nurture, right?
You're in a different time zone. How does this all work? Like, are you working at nighttime? Are you working throughout the whole day? Like,
I
right
would,
now, at my time is 10 o'clock. You said it was 5 o'clock on your
right,
time. Like,
right.
how are you even making this happen?
So yeah, it's a weird sleep schedule. Like I'll
I can
usually
imagine.
I won't start working till 9:30 or 10 in the morning, and then I'll work until about 2:30 or 3. Then usually I'll like take a break for 45 minutes for an hour. Then I've got meetings until like 9 or 10 at night.
That is crazy. Yeah,
Because
I
I
totally
love,
forgot that.
yeah.
Yeah, you're working all day, all night. Um, what's really unique, I think, that you mentioned, kind of ahead of the game, is you're also in the space of AI. You're really realizing how it can help in some spaces. I think you may have mentioned like administrative things, maybe grant writing. I know some people use it on grant writing. How do these technological tools really amplify that your human-led approach?
Oh, that's such a good question. And it's funny because we do struggle with it. And I saw that one of your, I think, interviews. First of all, I saw that woman that you interviewed with, was it Foster Adopt Connection? Is that what it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
called?
yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Makes me want to open up in Kansas or Missouri because that looks phenomenal. So I
She
better reach
is.
out to them because they look super cool and I'd love to talk to them. But also, I saw that you talked about AI and not to fear AI. And I think we go
Hmm.
between being like, oh my God, this is amazing, to, oh my God, this is terrifying. Like, we're not sure because we're such,
Yeah.
like, it's such a good question that you asked because we're such a human based organization. Like, it's really what
Hmm.
ours, like connecting human beings. So then for us to kind of like go to AI and say, hey, here's all our information, here's the grant application, and then we do it. Like, can you organize this for us? And then, of course, it's a lot of editing and making sure things are accurate and making sure that it's got our heart in it. But it
Hmm.
does really help to like organize all the thinking and to just sort of see the steps and even formatting, right? It'll say like, oh,
Yeah.
here's a good format for that. And it's, we're between being totally freaked out and totally in awe.